Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Force here with some more Friday Night Magic. Today we're playing the Deadwalkers deck. It's so funny, these three decks are right at the start. The way the list is ordered, I tried to go through the order. They're right at the start, and the last 3 weeks have been like the most OP decks is what we've been playing. Kind of funny. Well, we don't have any turn 2 drop here. The Gravecrawler open is nice. And as long as we draw another land, which we're running 24, we could get this Lord in play. So I guess we'll go ahead and keep this. This isn't an ideal hand, though. There's definitely plenty more 1 and 2 drops that I would prefer to have. And, you know, worst comes to worst, we'll Sign in Blood next turn, which should pretty much guarantee we draw into that third land for turn 3 for us to pump down the Lord of the Undead. So yes, we're playing the Zombies deck, and it looks like we are playing against the Zombies deck. I do get the jump when it comes to dealing damage, though, because his turn 1 was not a creature, it's this thing, which, well, it can eventually turn into a creature whenever other creatures die, but he won't be killing any of my creatures anytime soon. Alright, so we're gonna just draw pre-combat, doesn't really matter. Do it to myself. We do lose life from this, but we should be able to get another swamp. There it is, beautiful. So that means next turn, we'll be popping down the Lord of the Undead, which pumps up other zombies, actually including his, which is kind of scary. We'll see how that all goes. Now the big advantage he has, though, is he's gonna freely chump block. Oh, he can't do it this turn, though. Fantastic. I was gonna say, because basically what happens is creatures die, this gets counters on it. Once it has 3, he gets a 5/5. However, if we get another land, this will give us a huge advantage, because this one just pumps up our zombies. This pumps up all zombies. And the War Chief just pumps up our zombies. So we're swinging for 3 right now. We put in the Lord of the Undead, pumping our 2/1 up to a 3/2. So he's now down to 13 life. Now, but remember, he's just gonna be chump blocking. That enters the battlefield tapped, though. Oh man, he is being set behind dramatically here. So keeping our fingers crossed for a land here. I think getting the jump on, oh, that's not a land. This pumps up my zombies, though, and not his, so again, pretty big. And we're gonna drop that in play. There's the Death's Baron. Skeleton creatures you control, and other zombie creatures you control get +1/+1 and have death touch, and then we swing right now for 7, bringing him down. Oh man, bringing him down to 6. So let me try to think here. We're gonna need a way to finish this off. This pumps up his zombies. He is just saving for blocking now. All right. So he's saving for blocking. This pumps up my zombies. This could be a game winner for us right here. All right, but we're gonna pop this guy in play. So it's gonna push through at least 5 damage. If the Diregraph doesn't help us, this, what we really need is we need 6 lands, so we are very far away from being able to play that. I actually, gosh, I don't want to attack. So all he does is he blocks these 2, or probably blocks these 2, and then lets this go through. That's 5 damage, but then he's gonna get a 5/5 in play. I kind of just don't want to attack at this moment. Yeah, I'm not gonna attack. Whenever a human deals damage to you, destroy it. Other non-human creatures you control have +1/+1 and get undying. Okay. Alright, can play a Graveborn Muse. It's gonna have us drawing cards. We lose life too, but I do have plenty of blockers, so we're actually going to play that. So this is a very interesting position that we're in right now. I'm going to need to try to overwhelm him, which I could potentially do next turn. We'll have to see how this all works out. But right now, I'm swinging with nothing. So if I had attacked last time with my 3 creatures, he would have blocked and killed with his 2. And then he would have gotten his 5/5 into play, plus played his 2nd creature. And then next turn I would have just had the 1 and the 2, so he could have blocked both of those as well. Alright, so he's going to Tendrils of Corruption. He's killing off my Dreamborn Muse. Actually, he doesn't have enough to kill it, so he's just doing it to gain the life. Alright, so we lose a bunch of life, we draw a bunch of cards. Oh, that's pretty big. I wonder how that will... force him to sack a creature. This is actually huge for me. We're gonna put down a Fleshbag Marauder. All right, we have it. Put down a Fleshbag Marauder, comes into play. Each player is forced to sack a creature. I'm gonna sack my Fleshbag. He's gonna sack a creature, and here is, yeah, we should have the win here. Jar's Messenger comes back into play, but it comes into play tapped, so that's fine. And then we move into attack phase. He can only block 2. So I'm gonna swing with everything. Okay, so there we go, we have the game. A little bit undecided there for a moment, but in being able to overwhelm him here, able to push through the fatal damage for the victory. Whew, okay. All right, game number 1 in the bag. Let's go ahead and move to game number 2. Our next game against Oscar Wildcat. That first game was kind of tense because we were so close, but then at the same time I was like, oh, I don't want to really do this. This opening hand is not good. There's way too many lands. Draw a new one. Okay, yeah, we'll take this. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Now, unfortunately, our opponent does get to play first. Let's hope it's not a... Oh, gosh. Are we playing the Zombies deck again? You serious? Not guaranteed, but it's possible. Let's see if he plays down a 2nd type of mana. There are also 2 black decks right now in Duels 2014, so that's a possibility as well. He could just be playing the other, that's the graveyard fetch deck, basically. All right, so nothing for us for turn 2, but we do have a turn 3. We do have a turn 3 and a turn 4 drop. Turn 3 in the Jaral's Messenger, turn 4 in the Undead Warchief. We've got the Doomblade, although that's destroying non-black creatures, which won't do us much good this game. Tendrils of Corruption. Hopefully that'll come into play. All right, so he is actually also playing the zombie deck. Same as us. All right. So I guess we'll be taking a chance here. I'm gonna drop the Messenger and play, because that's pretty key. Comes into play tapped, but he does lose 2 life. And then it's got Undying. So it's gonna happen at least once more time, plus any potential additional damage we could get through. So we're gonna attack. He will be blocking, and we're gonna discard a card at random. That's just gonna happen. There's really nothing I can do about that. So let's see what we end up losing. Come on. Let's see what it is, Ah, that stings, we do have the Vampiric Tutor, which is nice, but it looks like wow, he's got nothing this turn. That's actually amazing for us. All right, I'm gonna, well, we can play this from our graveyard, so we will. I can Diregraph Ghoul, so I will. Can also Vampiric Tutor. I'm gonna do that post-combat though. We're gonna swing him for 3. And I'll be getting a 3-drop with my Vampiric Tutor. Okay, so we're gonna be getting a 3-drop for next turn. Or we could just get a land and we can play the Warchief. And that allows us to play the Tendrils too. Yeah, I'm gonna actually just go for a land, believe it or not. Yeah, we're just gonna go for a land. This is gonna let me play my Warchief next turn, and it also lets me get that Tendrils of Corruption. So the land's now top of the library, that's what we'll draw into. And depending on what he plays, we could Tendrils. Comes into play, each player sacks a creature. I'm gonna sack this because I can just play him from the graveyard. So that's fine. I'm not gonna play him this turn though, because this turn we play the Undead Warchief, pumping up our zombies +2/+1, also making them a cost 1 colorless less to play. And this turn we swing for a glorious 9. And he's been replaced by an AI, so that's the game. Yeah, so next turn, obviously, even if he had killed like 1 or 2 of these, we still had that damage plus the Tendrils of Corruption. No, that's just a creature even, I'm sorry. I was thinking of the, there's another card similar to this, it costs 6 though. So anyways, yeah, that's the game. Let's Fleshbag Marauder, force the AI opponent to sacrifice his 3/3. We sacrifice our guy there. And then we just go ahead and swing for the victory. Game number 2 in the bag. 2 zombie mirror matchups. Looks like my deck is superior. Or RN Jesus. Let's move on to game 3. The next match against Mustard. It's a delicious condiment, and it's an ugly color. All right, I get to play first, opening hand. Wow, this actually is not bad. I love all the grave crawlers we're opening up with. Just absolutely, positively love them. All right, so opening hand, starting off with a grave crawler. Turn 2, not gonna have anything unless he plays a turn 1 creature that we could Doomblade. Although we probably wouldn't, even if we could, because why Doomblade if you don't have to? And if we don't draw into a land, I might tutor for a land this turn. No, there we go. Well, I'm glad I didn't have to do that, honestly, because I didn't want to. I'm gonna save the tutor until there's a situation where I need to dig for something. I could, obviously, you could argue, use your tutor right now, search for something. I could search for another 3-drop. I'm gonna search for another 3-drop, actually. So what this will mean is that next turn I can drop one of the 3 drops. The turn after, I'm guaranteed to be able to drop the other one. The question is, which one do I want? Death's Baron's pretty nice. Another Geralf's Messenger. Actually, the Lord is probably the best, because that lets me fetch graveyards that, fetch zombies that die. So for example, if my Messenger dies, I can fetch him. All right, so here we go. Turn 3, pre-combat, gonna go with the Messenger. Let's see if he's got, okay, beautiful. So that's why I played him instead of the Lord of the Undead this turn, because the Lord of the Undead I can use to fetch him back. If I try to play the Lord of the Undead and he counterspelled that, well then I didn't have my fetch. So that's exactly why I did it in that order. Now he's gonna tap out, okay. Problem here though, I'm actually gonna have to Doomblade that. So as much as I want to play the Lord of the Undead, I need to get that guy to sacrifice that, so that I can just keep swinging my damage through. Or I could just play the Lord now, and then next turn I could force him to sack it. Or I can play the Black Cat. Let me play the Black Cat. And then... attacking does nothing. I can attack, he blocks. And then that's it. I could recast it, but it wouldn't. It doesn't just. Target player draws 2 cards, then discards 4. That's terrible. Discard 1, 2. Wait, what the hell? You serious? 1. Oh my god, no! So it draws 1 card? Did I really only have 2 cards in my hand? Target player draws 2 cards, then discards 4 cards. I had to discard the 2, okay. On top of that. This thing's ridiculous. Wow. Alright, well, at least I still have the Lord of the Undead. That really sucks, though. I actually probably wanted the Doomblade. out of all of those. Ah, God, that timer kills me. Absolutely kills me. All right. He's in his second main phase. So he chose not to attack, and now he's thinking about what to do. Is he chatting? Lag? Okay. All right. So Lord of the Undead. I'm gonna attack him with both of these because if my this guy dies, I can just return him. So 2 goes through. If this guy dies, he discards a card at random. Okay, so that happens. Then I can fetch it back. I want to do this now, prior to next turn. That way I can attack with him next turn. And so I can start fetching my graveyard, my zombies from my graveyard, thanks to my Lord of the Undead. Problem is he's building up this impenetrable blocking force. I can't do anything about it. But if I can just get more creatures than he has. Okay, I guess he's not building up this impenetrable blocking force because he just made room for me to swing. He's obviously just going to try to outpace me here, so we'll have to see how that goes. Alright, so return a zombie. Let's grab this guy because I can play him right now. And then I can still fetch back that guy coming up. Alright, so he comes into play tapped. I swing again with both of these. If he blocks this, I replay it. If he blocks this, he discards a card at random. Alright, so he blocks the higher damage, but that can also be replayed. And then I just replay it again. Okay. Alright, so 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have 10 potential damage. He gets 7 just in play. Play Gossamer Phantom, that's just a 2/1. Fortunately, that Grave Titan doesn't do us much good. Because we can't play it anytime. I mean, if we could play it, it'd be unbelievable. But we can't play it anytime soon, so. Yeah, it puts us a little bit closer to being able to play it. We can do it right now. We will do this. Grab the Messenger back. And then play the Messenger, forcing him to lose 2 right off the bat. Oh, that's a counterspell. Again, we can just keep getting that stuff back. I get to draw a card as well. There's another land, and that means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That means Grave Titan's coming out next turn. Now for this turn, I'm actually gonna attack with nothing. So we could chump block whatever 2 I attacked with. Sphinx. Use it to draw cards, okay. Gosh, he's gonna have Fatal in the air. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. He's almost got Fatal in the air right now. Oh my gosh. All right, this is gonna be really, really close. Here's the Grave Titan. Comes into play, we get 2 zombie tokens. So if I attack with 3, he just blocks all of them, kills them. He's got nothing to discard. So attacking right now doesn't do me any good. But however, attacking when I can overwhelm him definitely does do me good. So we're gonna pass the turn. He's got 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 in the air. It's not fatal, unless he pumps it up somehow. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh my gosh. I didn't even, okay. So that's fatal damage. Yeah, gosh. Oh well. Oh well. He's not attacking? What the hell? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. He had fatal damage. There was 0 reason not to attack. Alright, I'm gonna force through 2 damage here. 8, 9, 10, 11. He had fatal damage, so he wins. But can I win this turn? He's at 9. No, I can only get through. So he can block 4. I can only get through. I'll probably only be able to get through 3, 4, 5. So that means I lose. I mean, I lost the game anyways. You know, he had the win last turn. So I'm just gonna attack with everything anyways. But yeah, it's nothing. He blocks 6/6 with the 8/8. He blocks any of my 3 damage ones with those guys. Okay, come on. You have the win. That's 3. 4, 5, 6 damage goes through. I mean, he has fatal damage for next turn anyways. If only I had some extra damage to push through. Man, oh man. That freaking thing that made me discard was kind of hilarious. Oh wait, my zombies have death touch. Wait a second, what just happened? Why did his thing... He had a 6/6? Did I miss something? What the hell just happened? My zombies don't have death touch, I don't have the... They die. That was an 8/8, it got blocked by 6/6. Did he have death touch? Yes, he does. That's what oh my, that is hilarious. And he ends up leaving the game. So a game that I lost, I mean, I lost that game. I didn't win that. That was not a win. I know you saw me actually win, but I didn't. That's a loss. Like that is ridiculous. I can't even wrap my mind around that. Good Lord. So even though I lost, I actually won. Did he say something? Yes, he did. And yes, he should have attacked. That is way too... I don't feel good about that. I don't feel good about that win at all. But it is a win, so there you go. So yes, I agree with you, lovely viewer at home, that last win didn't count. But we did win the first 2 mirror matchups, so that makes me feel happy. I can't even believe. So he should have attacked. And then he also didn't realize the death touch, and yeah, I wasn't even thinking about that. That's just too funny, though. Anyways, guys, thanks so much for watching this episode of Friday Night Magic. It's a little bit shorter than I'd like. I'm on a tight time schedule today, but next week we'll try to get this video up closer to 30 minutes. I know you guys like that extra time, but yeah, got to see a few matchups with this deck. I mean, frankly, this deck is pretty face roll anyway. It's just like the last 2 decks that we played. Decks coming up are going to be a little bit more, not more competitive, but probably more interesting games because they're not as easy wins. These 3 decks, I feel like they still dominate the meta in Magic 2014. And that's the reason I actually like 2013 better, because I didn't feel like it was that overwhelming. There were some definitely good decks, but this one's just dominated by these last 3 weeks of decks that we've played. All right, thanks so much for watching. Stay tuned next week. Oh, I'm sorry, deck manager, here we go. Deadwalkers. 3 Grave Crawlers. You can't go wrong with this card in this deck. It's kind of unreal. Dire Graph Ghoul. It's pretty good. It's one drop for 2/2. Does come into play tap, but if you can play this turn 1, there you go. Vampiric Tutor for searching. Reanimates. Only one of those in the deck. I'll show you why later. The Butcher Ghoul. It's a 1/1, but it does have Undying, so it dies and it comes back with a 1/1 counter on it. The Black Cats. It's a zombie. Works with all your zombie synergy, and when it dies, your opponent discards a card at random. So even if they don't want to block, you can use this as a great chump blocker and then force them to discard a card. It's a beautiful early game for that reason, for holding off damage. Doomblade's an amazing card when you're not playing against a black deck. Sign in Blood, really can't go wrong here. It's a great 2-drop for yourself if you're short on lands and you need to dig through for some. It's a great example of when it's good no matter what. It's card draw. You lose life, sure, but 2 lands for 2 cards, it's good. Lord of the Undead, one of the many zombie pump-ups, plus this one has the zombie fetch for you. Drops Messenger. 3/2 comes into play tapped. They lose 2 life when it comes into play. And it's got Undying, so it comes into play again as a 4/3. and they lose 2 life the second time once it dies the first time. Death Baron, that's what I thought for a moment. I was like, wait, how does the creatures die? I had Death Touch. I thought I had the Death Baron in play, which gives your creatures +1/+1 and Death Touch, your zombies and skeletons. But no, it was in fact just the... That shows you how little I play the Grave Titan in this deck. Fleshbag Marauder comes into play. This is a great way to force your opponent. If you're playing against someone who has got very few powerful creatures, you can force them to sacrifice one of them by dropping him in play, and he can sacrifice himself as the creature. Graveborn Muse, a recent addition that I put to this deck. So during your upkeep, you draw X cards and lose X life. X is the number of zombies you control. It's actually really good in this deck. In select situations, you have to be careful because you're going to have typically at least 3 to 4 zombies in play, so you have to make sure you can lose that life. But if you can, drawing that number of cards can usually be a game winner. Undead War Chief, the third of the zombie pop-ups that you have. One of my favorite because it also makes your zombies cost less to cast, and it's +2 attack with the +1 defense. Grave Pact, a great way to eliminate your opposing creatures whenever a creature you control dies. Each other player sacks a creature. Get the Tendrils of Corruption to deal damage to creatures equal to your swamps, and you gain X life. The Mutilate for X damage across the board, -1/-1, equal to your swamps. The Grave Titan, you can't go wrong. It's a 6/6 Death Touch, as we learned, or as we were reminded. Comes into play, you get 2 2/2 zombies. When it attacks, you get 2 2/2 zombies. And then the Corrupt. This is like Tendrils of Corruption, except this one can also target players. Dealing damage equal to the swamps you control. You gain life. They are dealt that damage. All right, guys, that's the deck list. Thanks so much for watching. Tune in next week for another episode of Friday Night Magic. Keep watching and keep owning.